Hello, hello, hello. It's Dr. Nick. Hello, hello. Come on in, come on in. Hey, Leota, James. Hi, how are you? Hey, Kenny. How are you? Hi, Mom. How are you? I wanted to come on tonight to talk with you all. Hey, Jasmine, for a few moments since I thought that some of you would still be up. Hey, Miracle, happy birthday, cousin. Hey, Johnny, Reverend Johnny. Hey, Joey. Just wanted to jump on and talk to you guys for a minute about my posts. Some of the posts that I posted today, I've been getting some feedback via my inbox. So I wanted to share some thoughts with all of you, as we say in church, on tonight. So for those night owls like myself who stay up late, hey, Arlether, hopefully I didn't mess up your name. Hi, sweetheart. I wanted to jump on and talk with you guys. And for those of you who are going to see this post, this Facebook Live later, then you can see it then. While I am talking, if you guys can go ahead and share this with your followers, because I am sure that something I'm going to say tonight will be a blessing to those who will be able to watch this. So if you are able to go ahead and share, I would really appreciate it. Hey, Hugh, if you would go ahead and share this, I would absolutely appreciate it, because I definitely have something I want to share with you all tonight. All right. As I mentioned, I was up tonight and I wanted to share some things. I posted a couple of posts today, and I have been getting some. My decorations are going to stay up until March, but at least my Christmas lights are not on. Hi, Lynette. It's my arch. I like my arch, so it's going to stay up for a while. That is my Christmas arch. You guys see that in the background? I love that arch. I went through great measures to stand on top of a ladder by myself to put that arch up, so it's going to stay up until March. All right, but anyway, hey, Angela, I wanted to share this with you. Hey, Pat. I posted 2 posts today, and the first one I got a lot of feedback on, and this second one that I posted, I got a lot of feedback on. You guys have been sending me some inbox messages. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, sis. So I wanted to share this with you. My first post that I posted today, and it said this: the same red flags that left you with a question mark are the same red flags that will end the relationship. Say that again. The same red flags, hey, Chrissy, that left you with a question mark are the same red flags that will end a relationship. So the title tonight is, in this case, Love is Not Blind. And many people, and I can speak from personal experience, so I won't even talk about you guys. I'll talk about me and some of my experiences. Sometimes when we are in love and we love someone, now this is not just about, boyfriend, girlfriend, relationship. Hi, Yolanda. This is not just about boyfriend, girlfriend relationship. This can apply to any relationship. So for those of you who are married, don't tune me out saying, well, I'm married, this doesn't apply to me, because it can apply to anyone. When you are in a relationship with someone, whatever kind of relationship it is, there are some times, right, when there will be red flags that pop up. So you might say to me, like, what is a red flag? A red flag is anything that makes you stop and it arrests your attention. But not arrest your attention like, oh, that was sweet. But arrest your attention like, wait a minute. Something's not right about this. Something's not right about this at all. And it makes you have that question. Hey, Roro, that question in your mind of, what's going on? Why is this going on? Why am I feeling this way? Why are they acting this way? Why are things changing? Why did you change? You used to do this and now you're doing that. These are things that are called red flags. So let's talk about relationships. When you're in a relationship with someone, there are some times when, in the beginning, it's like that honeymoon phase. Even if you're not married, it's that phase in the beginning when everything is so great. You can't stand not being around each other. You're constantly texting each other. You're constantly talking to each other. It's like hang up, no, you hang up, no, you hang up, no, you hang up. And it's like you constantly want to be around each other. And then you notice like something happened along the way and one of you changed, right? And it may be in a case of a relationship I'm talking about now, boyfriend and girlfriend. It may be in a case of where they used to do something a certain way. Now they don't do it anymore. Let's take it even deeper and delve deeper. When it comes to relationships, I can talk about my relationships. I've been in relationships with people where they, used to keep their cell phone around. And then they just turn their cell phone over. If you know what I'm talking about, give me some hearts and say, yeah, I know what you're talking about. They used to keep their cell phone like right out in front of you, and now all of a sudden they turn their cell phone over, or they start taking their cell phone everywhere they go, including taking a shower. Things like that. And it makes you wonder in your mind, okay, you used to not do things like that. And now you're doing things like that. Or now all of a sudden they take the long way home from work, right? Or they used to just do certain things, and it makes you wonder, like, why did you change? I am here to tell you that you can love someone and not be blind to their red flags. And not just that, you can love someone and not be bound to their red flags. Meaning that you see the red flags, you acknowledge the red flags, and then you speak on the red flags. I was once in a relationship, actually in Jasmine. I was in a relationship, actually in a marriage, whereas I was bound to the red flags. My choice. I was bound to the red flags, whereas I would see my husband do certain things and I was scared. Listen to me well. I was scared to speak on the red flags because I didn't want to argue and I didn't want there to be a problem. So I saw red flag after red flag after red flag after red flag. And what I did was I turned a blind eye to it. I acted like I didn't see it. I acted like I didn't know it. I sat back and I watched it. I sat back and I looked for it. If you were in a relationship with someone and you see yourself in a situation where you are ignoring the red flags, that's not their fault. That's your fault. And if you're not speaking on it, whereas that was my case, I was not speaking on it. If you're not speaking on the red flags, that's your fault. And if you're allowing yourself to be in a relationship which you say you love so very much, but you're not speaking on the red flags, you are allowing yourself to be tortured. You are torturing yourself. It's not what they are doing to you. It's not them taking you through the motions. It's not what they are making you go through. It's what you are choosing to go through. It's what you are allowing yourself to go through. Yes, you are enabling them. You are enabling them to continue to do what they do. And in my case, I sat back for years and watched. And then what I did was I overcompensated, making myself greater in other areas of my life, which I have now 3 degrees, and many of them, most of my education came from me ignoring red flags. So instead of speaking on the red flags, I took more classes. I took more classes upon more classes. So I got my master's. And then that wasn't enough because I didn't want to deal with what was really going on with the red flags in my face. So then I said I will focus more on myself. So then I went and got my doctorate degree. Now I'm happy about my degrees. And sometimes negative things will lead you to positive and beautiful places. The end result sometimes is it has to be a process of pain, a process of betrayal. So I want to just even tack that note right here for some of you who may be watching, who may be in pain right now, somebody who may be watching right now, who may be frustrated right now. And I want to tell you that you have choices when it comes to your pain. You can allow the pain to control you, or you can control how you respond to the pain. I will say that again. You can allow the pain to control you, or you can control how you respond to the pain. And responding to the pain does not always have to be negative. So some of you might be on right now and you may be dealing with brokenness. You may be dealing with financial issues. You may be dealing with anger. You may be dealing with betrayal. You may be dealing with a sickness. You may be dealing with frustration and confusion, a job situation, whatever it is. I want to admonish you to take all of that energy, all of that energy and put it in a situation where it can work for you. And that all comes with perspective. If you change your mind about what has happened to you, and instead of having a pity party, you choose not to allow the pain, the bitterness, the betrayal, the brokenness, the sickness, the financial setbacks to define you, but instead you take what you can learn from it and you allow it to make you greater. Now let's get back to these red flags. Red flags. If you are in a relationship with someone and you are choosing to ignore the red flags, I'm sorry, sweetheart, and I'm sorry, sir, that is not love. Because you can love someone and still speak on what is hurting you. If someone is hurting you and you're not speaking on it, in some cases, they may not know they're hurting you if you don't speak on it. They may think that what they're doing is perfectly okay. If you don't open up your mouth and defend yourself. It's the same thing if you were outside and someone walked up to you and snatched your bag or snatched your pocketbook or start beating on you. You wouldn't just sit there and say nothing. You would defend yourself. So why is it when we get in relationship with people, the people that we love, and they are hurting us, we turn a blind eye to it because we love them. And it doesn't just have to be a relationship between a woman and a man or a love relationship or something like that. It could be a family member. Why is it that we choose to ignore red flags? Why is it that we choose to move on and move around the red flags? I am here to tell you that red flags that you choose to ignore become big sheets. And they begin to suck up your life, and they begin to take the air and the life out of you because you choose not to speak on it. God gave you a voice. You have a voice. It's up to you not to allow yourself to be consumed by red flags. Now, let me tell you this. If you are in a relationship and you have to constantly have a question mark over your head and wondering if this person is loyal to me, does this person love me? Does this person respect me? Does this person honor me? Is this person cheating on me? Is this person respecting me in my presence? Are they respecting me when I'm not around? That's too much. And if you choose not to speak on it, I'm telling you now, the same red flags that keep that question mark over your head are going to be the same red flags that end that relationship. I'm going to say it again. Those same red flags that keep a question mark over your head will be the same red flags that end your relationship if you choose not to speak on it. No one should have to live in bondage. No one should have to live in bondage where you go to sleep at night and you're frustrated. That's right. People don't know how to effectively communicate constructively without cutting their mate's spirit. No one should have to go to sleep frustrated. No one should have to wake up with pain in their heart and a broken spirit. If you are in any situation and you have to go to sleep at night frustrated, and you wake up in a relationship and you are not happy every single morning you wake up, when you look in the mirror and you're saying, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, but you don't do anything about it, this is real talk. That's your fault. And please share this while I'm speaking. Please share. That's your fault. If you're in a relationship and someone is hurting you, and let me tell you something, abuse is not just someone blacking your eye. I'm going to say it again. Abuse is not just someone blacking your eye. Abuse is not just someone beating on you. Abuse is not someone just stomping on you. Abuse is not just someone kicking you. Abuse is not just someone cursing you out. When someone is repeatedly over and over and over again hurting you, denying you, ignoring you, knowing what hurt you and they continue to do it, that is abuse. And if you know someone is abusing you, it's your responsibility to get out. Hello, beloved. It's your responsibility to get out. And there may be some people around you who say you should stick, you should stay, you should try to work it out. But I am telling you now, if you were in a relationship or you were in a situation and you spoke up about what's hurting you, you talked to them about how you feel, you've gone through the motions of it, trying to explain it over and over again. If what you are in is killing you internally, it's your responsibility to do something about it. We get one life down here, one. And it's not fair for any of us or any of you to have to live unhappy, to be in a situation where you don't want to be lonely because you don't want to be by yourself. I am telling you now, it is better for you to be lonely by yourself than to be in a relationship when you feel lonely. And you are lonely because the person that you're with is not treating you with the love, honor, respect, attention, and affection that you deserve. My love, you don't deserve to be in a situation where you are being mentally and emotionally abused. We have to stop ignoring the red flags for fear of feeling that we won't be loved again. I am telling you now, there is someone who will love everything that somebody else ignored about you. I am telling you, there is someone who will worship the ground that you walk on, opposed to someone who ignores you and acts like they don't even know who you are. There is someone who would love all of your beautiful flaws. There is someone who will love everything they hated about you. So you don't have to be in a situation or in a relationship where you have to turn a blind eye to the one that you love because you don't want to be by yourself or you don't want to acknowledge the red flags. You must acknowledge the red flags. And once you acknowledge the red flags, you must move on from there. I'll tell you this. I had a best friend and she said to me one time, okay, you're going to keep checking his email and keep checking his phone. But then what are you going to do about it? After you find everything that you find all the information that you found, then what? If you find something is hurting you and you have the evidence in front of you and you choose not to do it, you might as well stop looking and be an FBI. You understand what I'm saying? Don't just acknowledge the red flags and not do something about it. Acknowledge the red flags and save yourself. That's what I'm saying to you. I want us to be real about ourselves. This is real talk. Real talk means that I'm going to be real with myself and I'm not going to lie to myself. I had to get to a place, and I want all of us, those of you who are single, to get to a place where you realize I'm good and I'm good all by myself. I had someone ask me, well, why are you single? Do you really want to be single? And I have grown to, get this right, I have grown to a place where I love my singleness. My season of singleness, I am in a position where I love this season of my life. But it took some time after my last divorce. It took some time for me to settle in with, this is my reality right now, because I've always had a relationship, whether it was a boyfriend, a fiance, or a husband, consecutively, back to back to back. There was never a long break, never a long break. And now God allowed me to get out of my last marriage and take some time to work on me. Take some time to reflect on what I want and what I'm going to do with myself and do with my life. So I want to say to all of you who are on right now, who are watching this, it is okay, those of you who are single, it is okay for you to be single. It's perfectly okay for you not to be in a relationship if that is where you are right now in your life. You don't have to feel like you are less than. Do you hear what I'm saying? If you hear me say yes, I hear you. You don't have to feel like you are less than. You don't have to feel like you're not good enough. You don't have to feel like no one wants you. You don't have to feel like you can't get right or you can't, preserve or hold a relationship. You don't have to feel like that. I call myself successfully single, and I believe that there are millions of successfully single people all over the world. It is a matter of perspective. You have to be okay with you. You have to be okay with knowing, Daniel, thank you. You have to be okay with knowing, Brenda, thank you, who you are, Yolanda, thank you, where you are, and what you want with your life. Some of us who are single are not single because we don't have options. Can I say that again? Some of us who are single are not single because we don't have options. Many of us have options, but hear me well now. We are not willing to settle in those options. Just because you're single doesn't mean you have to settle with anybody who comes along that just wants to be with you. Can I say that again? Just because you're single does not mean you have to settle with anyone who just wants to be with you. Just so you can take yourself out of the single category to taken. That's not right. Because now you put yourself into a situation with someone who may not even have the capacity nor the capability to love you the way you deserve to be loved. So in your season of singleness, you acknowledge where you are right now. And you say to yourself, not to anyone else, what is it that I need right now? What is it that my heart needs right now? How do I need to be loved right now? Not how I needed to be loved last year, not how I wanted to be loved in my last relationship. How do I need to be loved right now? Right now. What is it that my heart desires? Because guess what? After that last relationship, some kind of pain, it changes you, and it changes you for good and forever. Can I be real about it? And it changes your desires, and it changes your wants, and it changes the things that you desire to have in a relationship. So you must ask yourself, in your season of singleness, get to know who you are and find out how you need to be loved right now. Find out what you need, the compassion that you need, the attention that you need, the affection that you need, the support that you need, the honor that you need. Find out every single detail of what you need so that when the person in your life, the person who wants to be in your life comes, you can be able to look at that person and say, this is what I want, and I'm not willing to settle with it. And this is what I'm coming to the table with. And if this is what you cannot supply for me, I'm okay with that. Because many times we get so upset and we beat people down because they don't love us. Hey, Shelly, they don't love us the way we feel like they need to be loved. And I said this before. Some people don't have the capacity to love you the way you deserve to be loved. Again, some people do not have the capacity to love you the way you need to be loved. And instead of getting mad with them, instead of getting angry with them, you have to be able to say, you know, I'm upset or I might be hurt, but I would rather be hurt now than spending 5 or 10 years telling the same person the same old thing over and over and over again. And really, they can't give me what I want. That's like asking a 3-year-old to go to the refrigerator to get you the bottle of water that's on the top shelf. And you keep yelling at this 3-year-old over and over and over again because they can't reach the level that you've asked them to reach. It's the same thing. They don't have the capacity to do it. They can't do it. Now you're frustrated. They're frustrated. You're screaming. They're screaming. And you're not realizing they don't have the capacity to do it. So you have to be able to be real enough with yourself and say, yes, I love him or I love her, but they can't give me what I need. So I'll just wipe my tears, count my losses, and I will move on. And that's okay. And that's okay. This is a part of getting to know who you are. And this is why you don't need to count it as a total loss when a relationship is over. Because now you have time to focus on you, your dreams, your aspirations, and what you want to do with your life. You have time to heal your heart. You have time to talk to the inner girl or the young girl or the young boy within you who you promised some great big things to. Take advantage of this single time, people. Those of you who are single, and work on you. It's perfectly okay. I had someone say to me, like, you need to be married. What are you going to do? Like, how are you going to do this? You're not married. And I'm looking at them like, are you okay? Because I'm okay. I'm okay with not being married. And after you've been married and gone through a divorce and seen how ugly that thing can get, you take your time the next time walking up to that altar or running to the altar. So for some of us, we don't need to run to the altar. You got to take time to build a relationship. You got to have a strong foundation. The same way with building a house. If you have a shabby foundation and build this beautiful house on top of a shabby foundation, it's going to eventually fall apart. Why? Because the foundation was never secure. You have to have a foundation that is secure. So take your time. Take your time. I know it's getting late, so I want to get to the second post I posted today. And that is this. Them hurting you is their fault. You being healed is your responsibility. Don't you dare stay broken. I'm going to say that again. Them hurting you was their fault. You being healed is your responsibility. Don't you dare stay broken. One more time. Them hurting you, that was their fault. You being healed, that's your responsibility. Your responsibility. Your responsibility. Don't you dare stay broken. So they hurt you. They betrayed you. They walked out on you. They stole from you. They broke you down. Right? That's their fault. That is their fault. That's their fault. It stops, their story stops right there at their fault. Now they're moved on. Now is where you pick up the pieces. You cannot allow a broken situation and what someone did, how someone mishandled you. Someone mishandled your heart. Someone mishandled your kindness. Someone mishandled your emotions. Someone took your kindness for a weakness. Someone took your heart and shattered it into pieces. You have to say, their part in my story is over. And now it is my responsibility to gather myself up and work on my healing. You don't get healed in the same environment where you were broken. I will say that again. You don't get healed in the same environment where you were broken. So the person who broke you, you're looking at them saying, but you hurt me. What are you going to do about how you hurt me? But you betrayed me. What are you going to do about how you betrayed me? But you made me look stupid. What are you going to do about my reputation? Everybody's talking about me now because of what you did. What are you going to do about it? Let me tell you something, sweethearts. If they were going to do something about it, then what they would have done was make sure it never happened. If they loved you that much and they honored you that much, they would have made sure that it never happened. So what that means is that it is your responsibility now to take responsibility of your heart. And guess what? You can't beat yourself up because you trusted someone with your heart. You said to someone, this is my heart. I'm giving it to you. This is my love. This is my life. I'm giving it to you. And they mishandled it. You can't force them to fix it. But you can fix you. You can work on you. And guess what? That's your responsibility now. They dropped you. It hurts. Matter of fact, hurts like hell. You wish it never happened. You have major regrets. You're sitting back wondering, what in the world am I going to do? Like, I am tired of this pain. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to go through this. And you're sitting back looking at them. And guess what? They don't have the pain you have. They don't have the sleepless nights that you have. They don't have the embarrassment that you have. They don't have the sickness that you have. They're not crying all night. They're not, barely making it through the day. They're not questioning themselves. They're not looking in the mirror and feeling like they are less than. Guess who's doing that? You are. So since you are, it's your responsibility to fix you. You. So after my marriage, I had to realize that I was a mess. And I knew I was a mess. I couldn't go back to him and say, excuse me, I know you've gone on with your life, and I know that, you broke me, and I know that, you embarrassed me, and you betrayed me, and I'm looking quite like a fool right now, and I know that I can't sleep at night, and I'm really broken, I'm really upset, and I'm suicidal, and I really want to die, and I'm depressed. I just wonder if you could come walk me through this and hold my hand through this. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. You knew who I had to count on to hold my hand? Me. I had to hold my hand. I had to take my hand and say, we're going to get through this together. And it's going to hurt. It's going to be a process. As a matter of fact, it's going to be a long process. You know why? Because I didn't want to keep patching and fixing. And for some of us, we're not getting totally healed the way we need to be totally healed because we keep patching and fixing. It's like we're taking a Band-Aid, putting a Band-Aid over it and bleeding through it and keep changing that Band-Aid out over and over again instead of going in and making sure that we get the right surgery to fix that wound. And for some of us, we need surgery internally. On our heart, on our soul, on our emotion, our spirit. And there is something inside of you that is crying out saying, and now I need you. You have given everyone else you. You have given everyone else your attention. You have fixed everybody else's problems. But what about you? Ladies, the little girl inside of you is screaming, but you told me we were going to be greater than this. We had great big dreams, great big goals, and great big plans, and nothing was going to stop us. And now you are sitting on the side of your bed every night in pain, wondering when they're going to come fix you. No, they're not coming to fix you. Fellas, they're not coming to ring that doorbell to get you up off the couch, playing PlayStation and watching the game to say, okay, let's work on you. No. We have to work on ourselves. And what I had to do was one day at a time. One day at a time. I had someone, I will never forget this. She's a part of an AA program, Alcoholics Anonymous program. And this is what she told me. And I promise you it worked for me. And I'm going to share it with you. She said to me, in the AA program, we tell ourselves, take it one day at a time. So I started doing that. I start dealing with my healing one day at a time. Then she said, if one day at a time doesn't work, then you take it a half day at a time. There were some days I had to take it a half day at a time. Then she said, and on the days it gets really bad, you got to take it 1 hour at a time. Do you hear me? 1 hour at a time. And that's where I was. I was so broken. Mentally and emotionally, my spirit and my soul was broken. One day at a time was too much for me. A half a day at a time was too much for me. I was taking it 1 hour at a time. And then I began to build up, and I was taking it from 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning to noon. And when I got to noon, I looked at the clock and I said, I made it this far. And then I went from noon to 5 o'clock. Then from 5 o'clock till it was time to go to bed. And that's how I kept doing it. So whatever works for you, you set those parameters. Because I'm telling you one thing. You do not deserve to live a life of brokenness for the rest of your life. It's not fair. I know what they did to you was not fair. I know how they hurt you was not fair. But let me tell you something, sweetheart. You got to get up from here. You cannot live the rest of your life like this. You're going to have to snatch that thing up from the root. Do you hear me? From the root. You got to get down and dig into it and say, this is what happened. This is why it happened. And this is what I'm going to do about it. Don't you dare stay broken. And those of you who are watching this, if you just came on, please share this because I believe it's going to help somebody. Don't you dare stay broken. Now, I'm going to tell you something else that helped me. And, I had to find a reason why I was willing to fight. And many of you have heard me talk about this before. And I talk about it even in interviews that I do on television. I actually was on television in over 100 million homes 2 weeks ago, right? And in the interview, I said to them, I had to find my why. Why was I going to fight? At the beginning, my why was literally, I just want my smile back again. I wanted to be able to know what it felt like to smile because the only time I saw my teeth was when I was brushing my teeth. Do you hear what I'm saying to you, from me? That was my why. All I wanted was to be able to smile again. That was my why. And after that point, my why began to be different things. Whereas I remember speaking to my mom, and she's on right now, she could tell you. She made me fight. Find one person who believes in you, who won't let you fight, who won't let you fight alone. She made me fight. I said, Mom, hide me. Too many people are talking about me. I get on social media and people are talking about me. I get on Facebook and they're talking about me. I go to the bank and I go to CVS and the women are hunching themselves. Yep, my mom's on right now. I said, Mom, can you hide me? I'm giving you the short version of it. And because she supports me so much, I thought that maybe she would take this great idea of hiding me and, do it, because once they talk about you for a while, then they move on and talk about somebody else's business. And she said to me, are you finished? When I finished asking her to hide me and telling her how great this plan would work for us, she said, I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to hide. You're going to keep going because they're waiting for you to die. They're waiting for you to fall off. They're waiting for you to give up. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep preaching. You're going to keep traveling. You're going to keep empowering people. And you're going to get in this pulpit on Sundays. Instead of sitting on the first row, you're going to sit next to me. And you're going to keep going. Although you don't want to keep going, you're going to keep going. And I'm saying this to somebody who was on here right now. You've got to keep going. When the lepers in the Bible were to present themselves to Jesus, to be healed, Jesus told them to go show themselves to the priest and they would be healed as they went. And that's what Jesus told me. As long as you keep going, you will be healed as you go. So I want to say to someone who is on right now or who may be watching later, as long as you keep going, you will be healed. Don't you sit there on a seat of do nothing and allow yourself to wither away. Allow your dreams and your goals to fizzle out. Allow your fire to die. You don't give someone that much power and control over your destiny. As long as you keep going. And there might be some days you want to run. Some days you want to walk. Some days you can't walk. Some days you got to crawl, figuratively speaking. Some days you have to slither like a snake. But as long as you keep going, you will find that your healing will come. And guess what? Once you get healed, no one will be able to take credit for what happened with you. No one. Hey, Jay. Hey, Giselle. No one will be able to look at you and say, she got better because I made her better, or he got better because I put them on. No. In the end, you'll be able to say this was between me and God, and he did a miraculous work in me. So I want to tell all of you right now, Lynette, thank you, Sora, that your healing is your responsibility. And I don't want to see you all or anyone. I don't want to see anyone stay in a position or a situation where you allow yourself to remain hurt. Because guess what? While you're not sleeping at night, they're sleeping good at night. I had to realize that while I'm stressing over him, wondering where he is and wondering what he's doing, he's sleeping good at night. He's not stressing at night. He's not worried about me at night. And I'm sitting up, can't sleep, can't eat. And I am wondering what I'm going to do with my life when, boom, they've gone on with your life. Hurting people. When people hurt other people, most times they just move on with their lives. And we're the one that's left with the feeling of what am I going to do with my life? So if that needs to be your why, whatever it is, if you find a why, you'll keep going. But you never let anybody have that much power over you where what they did to you holds you down for the rest of your life. It may be a family member. It may be something that happened to you as a child. It may be something that a teacher said to you. Or it may have been a relationship. Whatever it was, whatever it is, it's your responsibility to make sure you are healed. It's your responsibility to get your eyes off of them and stop looking at what happened. Stop looking at what they're saying about you. Stop worrying about who's talking about you on their news feed and subliminal messages. That's not your business. It's not. It's not your business. It's not anymore. You don't have to keep checking their pages and wondering if they're talking about you today. You got to get strong enough to tell yourself, I'm going to stop looking at it. I'm going to stop listening to it. I'm going to stop going back there. There's a song by Dwayne Woods that says, as soon as I stop worrying how the story ends, I let go and I let God have his way. That's when things start happening. When I stop looking at back then, I let go and I let God have his way. Now, if other people can let go, then you can let go. If other people can let you go, then you can let them go. So I want to say to you who are on tonight, them hurting you, that was their fault. You being healed, that's your responsibility. And I want to tell you this one thing. You can love someone and still let them go. Hear me well. Hear my heart. You can love someone and still walk away. You can be in love with someone and remove yourself from the situation forever. I am a witness, and I tell this story and I talk about it in my book. Losing you is not an option. Get back up and fight again. That's me. I talk about this in my book. When I went to court, divorce court, I sat there with my lawyer and I looked across at my husband at that time, because we had the lawyer, the judge had not officially made the divorce final. And I looked at him and I knew I was still in love with that man. But you know what? I loved me more. I loved Dr. Nicole P. Lyles-Belton more. And I knew that the closure I needed was me walking away. Not me asking him to heal me. Not me asking him to fix me. Not me asking him to make it right. Not me asking him to say I'm sorry. Not me asking him to say to me, you know, this is why I did what I did. I knew I had to save Nick. Hear me. I had to save me. So I am telling you, you can love someone and walk away. You can be in love with someone and walk away. As long as you know your why. Why are you doing this? Not having a conversation, oh, well, why should I do this with somebody else? No, why do you need to do this? And for me, I had to do it to save my life, to save my mind, to save my sanity, to save my peace. And that's why I don't mind being singleness. My peace that I have right now is not for sale. My peace is not for sale. My happiness is not for sale. My joy is not up for you to just take from me. So until God sends someone who won't play with my peace, who won't play with my happiness, who won't play with my joy, then I am fine with being by myself. And you got to get to a place where you are fine with being by yourself, my loves. I had a student say to me about a week or so ago, she said, Dr. Lyles-Belton, why aren't you married? You know, you got to be married. You got to be in a relationship. And I looked at her and I said, why? She said, so you can keep getting your hair done and getting the pocketbooks and shoes and stuff that you have. I said to her, sweetheart, I buy my pocketbooks, my shoes, and my hair. Everything you see me have on right now, I bought that. The house I live in, I paid for that. I am paying for that. The car I'm driving, I paid off. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't have to have somebody in a relationship with somebody to be able to have somebody take care of you. Hear me well. If you want it, get up and do something about it to get it yourself. You don't have to get in a relationship for somebody to take care of you. Take care of yourself. So when you get into a relationship, when he says to you, what do you bring to the table? You can say, I bring the table and the chairs to the table. And the place setting, and if I need to put the food on the table, I can do that too. You want to get in a relationship when it's time for you to be in a relationship that you come to the table whole, not a woman or a man looking at you wondering how they're going to put you back together again. Because no, you took time to step off the relationship scene, to step back from the relationship scene, to work on you. So now that you're working on you, you got an under construction sign right here. Right now, I'm not ready. Now, I'm not saying you can't have friends. Have friends. But let your friends know this is as far as it's going. I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm not looking for anything like that. I am looking to work on me. I am looking to heal me. And am I saying that you got to be totally and perfectly healed? Because I am saying to you, like I tell you all the times, my broken crayon still color. The majority of my life is healed, but there are some broken places that I still have. And God allows me to make those broken pieces work for me. For me. Everything that happened to me, it didn't happen to me. It happened for me. The betrayal, the divorces, 2 divorces, where I left the marriages, me losing children, me losing my left fallopian tube and having an ectopic pregnancy, me being a pastor's daughter, me being judged, me not having a lot of friends from going from a whole tribe of friends. All of that has worked for me. So instead of me waiting for somebody to come and heal me, I let God do the healing, and I worked on me. And that's why I now write books. That's why now I'm on television and I'm on the radio and I'm in magazines and I'm on billboards. That's why I empower you all the way I do, because I was not going to allow anybody to allow me to stay down because of what they did. Thus, them hurting you was their fault. You being healed is your responsibility. And I am here to tell you, you are looking at a living example and a living testimony of you can be broken and you can keep moving. You can be broken and you can still move on with your life and allow healing to be your portion. Pull back. Allow yourself to have time to work on your baggage, so you won't keep adding baggage on top of baggage on top of baggage. You understand what I'm saying? Work on you. And when you work on you, then you'll be ready for whatever God sends your way. This is Dr. Nicole P. Lyles-Belton, and I wanted to share with all of you tonight on the 2 posts that I post today. The same red flags that left you with the question mark are the same red flags that end the relationship, and also them hurting you was their fault. You being healed is your responsibility. So I'm checking off the things I said I was going to talk about tonight. And I hope that you will take a moment and share this post, because I believe that, I love you too, Mom. I believe that, thank you, Yolanda. I believe that someone ought to be blessed. And I am telling you this, I'm going to keep talking to singles because I feel like we need to encourage each other. I'm going to keep talking to women because I feel like we need to encourage each other. I had someone tell me, if you ever get married again, you're going to lose your following because people are not going to believe in you anymore because you're not single. So you have to stay single. Well, until God sends me someone, I will stay single. But I'm going to keep empowering because I have lots of testimonies, just like all of you do. And because I am someone that has a history of victories, I'm going to help you all get over whatever you're going through. And I pray that you will one day get on Facebook Live and talk about how you got over so it can help empower me. We are each other's tribe. Amen. Wakanda forever. We are each other's tribe. So let's continue to empower one another. I love you all. And I hope that you got something out of it. If you got something out of this message, can you type, I got something out of this, please? Because I stayed up because I wanted to make sure that I encouraged you. Janice, oh wow, that means a lot to me. Thank you. I hope I didn't mess up your name. Thank you so much. I love you all. And if you did not get to see Black Panther yet, go see it. I love y'all. Have a great day. Remember, your healing is your responsibility. You have a beautiful heart, a beautiful soul. Don't ignore the red flags. Allow yourself to be healed. And allow yourself to know it's okay to be successfully single. Remember, one day at a time. One day at a time, or a half day at a time, or an hour at a time. But you will be healed as long as you keep going. God bless you all. I love y'all. Please share. Good night.